Hello, Omar.
Hello, teacher.
Hello, how are you today?
I'm great, teacher. I had a little bit busy day, but I'm happy because it's the last week, almost done.
Okay, well, I'm really happy that you are here. Well, first of all, I'm sorry because of your busy day. I know it's Monday. That's why it was busy. But I am happy you are here in our class. So thank you for coming. How was your weekend?
Yeah, I had a good weekend. I worked and I started. Really, I really feel the exercise was hard in the platform, but
Oh,
I've tried did it.
okay. Well, yes, I could see that some of your classmates had problems with some of the activities from the platform, but I hope you will understand a little bit with, well, throughout the practice, you will get uh, or you will understand the topic a little bit better. So that's the main thing. I consider that some of your classmates that didn't understand the topic, some of them didn't come to classes, so that's why it gets more difficult. But even if you, well, if you come to classes and it's difficult, imagine the people that didn't come. So that's why. But don't forget, continue practicing and you will see that things will get easier little by little. Okay?
Yeah, nowadays I'm in 75%, so I think I have a good I have a good working platform and
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah, you have done a good work. Remember that the percentage that we have had, that we should have, I'm sorry, it's 75. So you are in the right percentage. Okay. So we have to continue. Well, remember, this is the last week of classes in intermediate 3. So then we have to complete all the activities from the platform and get a 100% at the end of the week. So that's why I'm going to help you with some activities. Well, I will remind you to do some activities day by day. So at the end of the week, even on Friday, we can have our certificate. Remember that a requirement to get our certificate is to complete all the activities on the platform. So then you can continue, well, INSAFORP will continue with the agreement or with the benefit that give you and your classmates, right? That's why INSAFORP is always checking um, if you work on the platform or not. Because if you come to classes, it's good, but it's more important to work on the platform. Okay, at the end, it's the way they check or they can see if you learn or not. Okay.
Yeah, I think so. I have a good level right now, so I need learn more and practice more, but I feel I have a good level, teacher. So I'm sorry, right now I don't activate my camera. I think this a bad a bad behavior because I don't know is como siento que es como mala educación no activar la cámara. But in
Okay.
this moment I can activate my camera.
Oh, don't worry. Thank you for letting me know. Actually, I respect that you tell me. Okay, so I always prefer that you tell me that you can't than only having your camera off, right? So I really admire that from you. Okay, Omar, that you told me, and I respect if you can't right now, and there is no problem. But we need to start practicing. I was waiting for some of your classmates, but they are not coming. So we are going to start now, okay? Let me share my screen, and then we can move to our next activity. Very good. Okay, Omar, remember that today we are studying Unit 5, and we have a question about inventions. Tell me, in your opinion, Omar, what's a crazy invention you know? Invention are all kind of things that people invent, of course, but there are that, well, people invent or people make inventions to help others to make things easier. But in some cases, there are some inventions that are unnecessary or they make people lazier than they are. So, do you know any crazy invention that you have ever seen on a video, or maybe you have already had a crazy invention?
Yeah, let me see. Maybe Elon Musk. I think he he done the satellite internet, and I think is a good invention because we have internet in rural places, and I think it's a good invention
Oh, you are right, Omar. That's a
about the
really great
yeah.
invention. Okay, that's a really good invention. Because as you mentioned, right, a lot of people can have internet. Maybe the main problem is the price of this internet. But apart from that, I could say that it's a good one.
Yeah, means here in Salvador, I read only you need you need bugged or void the the or I don't know how to say it. Solo tienes que comprar el equipo nada más.
You only need to
And
buy
and we need
the the equipment.
yeah. And and we only paid s- 16 $16 $60 or $70 per month, and I think it's a good option.
Oh, really? Well, I didn't know about that. About Give me a second. I'm looking some information about that because didn't know I didn't know the requirements that you need to have to buy it here in El Salvador. But it sounds interesting because uh, if you only need to, well, I consider if you only need to buy um the internet box, I don't know if it is a box or what, but if you only need to buy it, well, that's a bargain. Okay, that's a bargain. It's a great sale because imagine you are paying internet every month and the service is not the best one. So then if you have that internet, it will be it will be better, right? So it sounds interesting. Well, that's a good invention that these men have done or have created. But have you ever seen any crazy invention?
No, teacher, I remember on when I was in the mid school, I invent a rocket in in the in the science in the fair science, but I never seen a crazy invasion about other people or here in Salvador.
Okay, well, but it sounds interesting, right? Was it a great activity when you were in high school?
Yeah, with my classmate, we created a rocket about I remember we are create a rocket with a bottle plastic bottle, and I don't know how to say it, con tubo PVC y una bomba para inflar balón.
Okay, well, that's so creative. So really nice. I remember when I was in high school, well, we didn't do many some of those activities. I remember that when I was in school, when I was at school, we did some. Okay, we have some inventions or some experiments, in better words. Okay. Well, thank you for sharing about this topic. I ask you about this because in this opportunity, we will talk about an important topic, and it is about the use of gerunds and infinitives, okay? Before we start, let's pay attention to this information, okay? Let's see. We use gerunds and infinitives to talk about the purposes and uses of something, okay? Remember this because we will use purposes and uses during the whole class. We will use these concepts or this definition and some examples to understand better the use of gerunds and infinitives. Before we start, can you help me reading the two examples in blue?
Yeah, sure, teacher. The example number one, I use my cell phone to send messages.
Messages.
Messages. Yeah. And the second one, people use cell phones for sending messages.
Okay, now that you read the sentences, Omar, I have a question. Can you see a difference? Can you see any difference between these two examples?
Yeah, in the first example, I think is a sentence to talking about confirm or yeah, to confirm they use my cell phone to send message. And the second one, people use cell phone for sending message right now in this moment.
Mm, kind of. Kind
Okay.
of. Okay, but that was a great effort, Omar. As you can see in the first example, okay, I use my cell phone to send messages. In the second example, people use cell phones for sending messages. Maybe you were looking for the meaning of the context, or maybe the meaning of those. Maybe you were looking for the meaning of the two sentences, and it's okay. But apparently, there is one difference. And the difference that we can notice by looking the examples is that in the first example, we used to send. In the second example, we use for sending. This is the topic, or this is the part we are going to focus today in our class, gerunds and infinitives. To understand a little bit more this topic, we will move to the next slide. What's a gerund and what's the infinitive? Please, Omar, tell me, what are gerunds?
Yeah, gerunds for plus ing.
Nice. And what are infinitives?
Yeah, infinitives to plus verb in base form.
Good job. We could say that the most common or infinitives are more common than gerunds. For example, to learn, to buy, for example, to clean. So that's the most common structure that we use when talking about verbs, because they are still verbs. Infinitives and gerunds, well, they have different uses. They can work as a noun, they can work as a verb. In this case, they are working as verbs, okay? Because they are talking about the purpose of something or the use of something, okay? Then in gerunds, we can use the same examples, okay? For example, for cleaning, for buying, for cooking. So as you can see, we can use for and the verbs in ing, but they are not talking about activities at this moment. They are only expressing the purpose of something or the use of something, okay? We will check the two parts in this moment, and then we can understand a little better this part. To start
Yeah,
with our class, oops, just
I thought the gerunds and infinitives are the same, but I I see.
actually, they are similar. They are similar, okay? But we will check today, okay, the main objective of this of gerunds and infinitives is to talk about purpose or use of something, okay? But they have a slight difference. They have a little difference between one thing and the other. So let's pay attention to it. Can you help me reading the definition?
Yes, we generally use gerunds to talk about the purpose or function of an object.
Okay, let's stop over there. As you see, in this explanation, this very short explanation, we have that gerunds talk about the purpose or function of an object. As you see in these examples or in these pictures, we have two machines or two electronic devices that we can use and they have a specific use. Can you help me reading the two examples?
Yes, teacher. This machine is used for cleaning cars. And the second, a hair dryer is for drying hair.
Okay, of course. Very obvious, but as you can see in these examples, we are talking about the main function of these objects. For example, the first picture shows us a machine, maybe, well, if you are used to wash your car or your motorcycle, so you know that there are some machines that are especially for that field. In this case, that machine is used for cleaning cars. The main function of that machine is cleaning cars. In the second example, in the same way, we use a hair dryer, or generally, we use a hair dryer for drying the hair. Maybe they can help us for a different thing. They can have another function, or they can have another use, but most of the people use it for drying hair. So that's the main use of gerunds. When we talk about the main use or the main function of something. For example, what do people use the cell phone for? People use their cell phone for watching TikToks. They use their cell phone for, I don't know, for making calls, for chatting on WhatsApp. So they use their cell phone for different purposes. That's why we use gerunds. When we talk about most of the people, when we talk about a general function, okay? But if we want to focus,
For example, for general
uh-huh,
use, teacher.
yeah, tell me.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you very well.
Okay, I understand the use of gerunds when talking about the general use. For example, in the second example, yeah, it's a general use. The people use the hair dryer for drying hair. It's most common.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I understand this. O sea, yes, the gerunds is for when talking about the general use about something.
That's right.
Okay.
So for example, you can tell me, well, I gave you the example about the cell phone. So what are the functions of a cell phone? The functions of a cell phone functions, let's see. Nowadays, checking social media, watching TikToks,
Recording videos,
oh,
record.
recording, okay, recording videos. Then another, I told you making phone calls. Um, do they have any other use that you
Yeah,
consider important?
I think so. All the time I used my phone, so texting or texting with my family or my girlfriend.
Okay, texting, texting friends or family. So as you
Yeah,
see, they have
yeah.
different uses, okay? A cell phone can have different uses, but which is the main, okay, cell phone in general, they can have different uses. But what's the main use that you give to cell phones, to your cell phone? What is the main use that you give to your cell phone?
Uh,
It's
for the
difficult.
communication, for the most important thing for the communication. I think this is the main purpose.
Okay, so maybe I will use the last example that you gave me, texting friends or family or your girlfriend.
Yeah.
So in that case, remember that gerunds are used to talk about the main function in general that most of the people maybe use it for. But then we have the infinitives, and with infinitives, we generally use it to talk about the purpose that you give to some things or to something. Let's check our next part. Okay, let me read the definition. We use infinitives to express the purpose of an action or the reason why we do something. Okay, for example, this is very common, and it's the same example or it's similar because the hair dryer have, well, it doesn't have a lot of uses, right? The main use is almost the unique use that it has. I use a hair dryer to dry my hair. I am talking about the purpose of an action. Now, if I give, well, if I give you your own example, if I write your own example, you can tell me, I use my cell phone to communicate with people I love, your family, your friends, your girlfriend. So as you see in this example, I use my cell phone to communicate with people I love. That's the use that you give to something, okay? In that case, we are not talking about the general idea or the general function that everybody gives to these objects. In that case, we are talking about the purpose of an action that you give to something. Okay?
Okay.
Very good. And then, as you can see, the second use of the infinitives is to talk about or to express the reason why we do something. Let's see right now. Can you help me with the second example, the letters in red?
Yes, I play video games to relax.
Nice. Okay. As you know, there are different functions or different purposes for playing video games. Maybe you play video games in this example to relax. Maybe you play video games because you you have a lot of free time. So there are different reasons why we play video games. Then, if you want to express the reason why you do something, we use infinitives. In this case, it's not correct to use I play video games for relaxing. So that's not possible, actually. Okay, that's not possible. I play video games to relax. Yes, because we are talking about the reason why we do something, not about the purpose. We're talking about the reason to do something. The same case when we are talking about why are you learning English? Omar, why are you learning English? Ah, I am learning English to travel to another country, to work, or to get a better job. So we have a reason to do something. Then, if we have a reason to do something, we can use the gerunds. Okay, in that case, it's better to use infinitives. To and the verb in base form. Okay, Omar?
Yes, okay, teacher.
So tell me, why are you learning English?
Yeah, I'm learning English to get a better job.
Okay, to get a better job, to get a better job. Okay, nice. As you see, there is a reason, or that's a reason to learn English. So then remember, if you are looking for a reason, then we use infinitives. But if we are talking about the general use or the main function of something, we have to use gerunds. It's possible to use infinitives and gerunds in different situations, yes, but it's better if we keep it like this. Gerunds for something in general, infinitives for something personal. Okay, and also this is mandatory that if you're talking about the reason of something, we better use infinitives. Okay, there is something else I have to mention, Omar, and is that when talking about the purpose of something or the reason of something, we can use for plus a noun, not a gerund, not an infinitive, a noun. For example, we can say, the last example I told you, I use my cell phone for a communication. As you can see, communication is not a verb. Communication, I'm sorry, let me see. Communicate is a verb. Communication, no. So in that case, as you see, I use my cell phone for communication. Communication is a noun. For and a noun. But if we don't want to, if we want to use a verb, in that case, since we are talking about our personal use of the cell phone, we say I use my cell phone to communicate. Okay, look at that. I use my cell phone to communicate, and then people use their cell phone to, oh sorry, for watching TikToks, for example. Okay, So maybe that's, I don't know, but maybe that's the main function for people to have a cell phone and to use it. So in that case, as you see, you have, give me a second. Okay.
Yeah, teacher, could you give me a sec? I need connect my charger with my
Oh
laptop
yes, do
because
it, do it, do
the
it.
battery is dead.
Okay, do it. Let me know when I can continue.
Yeah, thank you, teacher. I'm here.
Okay, very good. So as you can see in the three examples, you can see that in the first example, even though we are talking about the purpose of something, we use for, but then we use a noun. Okay, and in the second example, it's the same context. We are talking about the use we give to something, but we use to and a verb. And in the last example, we talk about the general function people use cell phones for. Okay,
Yeah, okay, teacher.
nice. When talking about purposes, remember, for gerunds and infinitives are okay. But if we are talking about reasons, so any question in which we have to use why, so then in that case, we never use gerunds, only infinitives, okay?
Okay, teacher.
Very good. We will try to practice right now, so let's move to the next activity. Pay attention to it. Okay, give me a second, it's loading. Okay, very good. As you can see in this part, we only have to use to and for. Okay, so let me show you all the sentences. Let me see if we can see all the sentences at the same moment. What happened? No, I don't want to print it. Give me a second. What is happening? Okay, there you go. As you can see, we have 10 sentences. So we have to check which is the correct word, for or to. Okay, remember that we can use for gerunds and also for nouns. Okay, so pay attention to that, and then we check if it is to or for. You will have, Omar, 1 minute to identify what's the correct form, if it is for or if it is to. Okay, 1 minute, and then I will ask you.
Okay, teacher.
So let me take the time. Okay, well, I'm taking the time, so you have 1 minute right now. Okay, okay. Well, time's over, Omar. Right now it's time to check
Yeah.
what's the correct form. Okay, what's the correct form of the sentences? If they are we have to use infinitive or gerunds. Number one, I need my computer, send an important email. So what do you think? Which is the correct form?
Yeah, I think is for. I need my computer for send an important email.
Okay, for send an important email. Let's see. There you go. Nice. Continue number 2. Call your doctor. What's the correct form?
Yeah, call your doctor. mm, for an appointment.
Okay, well done. For an appointment. Nice job. Number 3. I am on a diet. Lose some weight. What do you think?
Yeah, in this example, I'm on a diet to lose some weight.
To lose some weight. Pretty good. Number 4. I am going to call the restaurant. Book a table. What's the correct sentence?
Yeah, I think I think is I'm going to call the restaurant for book a table.
For book. Okay. Let's see. Example 5. A thermometer is a tool measuring the temperature. What do you think is the correct form? 4 or 2?
Yeah, I think is two, teacher.
2.
Yes.
Okay. Then, do you have time a cup of tea?
Yeah, I think it's four. Do you have time for a cup of tea?
Okay, nice. Then, I need some money, a taxi.
Yeah, I think is four, teacher. I need some money for a taxi.
Very good, for a taxi. Then we have the same example, but now we use a verb. I need some money, take a taxi.
Yeah, is two. I need some money to take a taxi.
Ah, very good. Next, number 9. This knife is used cutting plastic. What do you think?
Yeah, this knife is used for cutting plastic.
Well done, okay? And the last sentence. Where can I go buy the ingredients?
Yeah, it's two, teacher. Where can I go to buy the ingredients?
Perfect. Okay. We finished with these sentences. Let's check together which are correct and which are not. Okay. Let's see. Okay. We have 7 answers out of 10. So it was a great result because we have 7, only 3 mistakes. Let's check what are the mistakes in this part. Okay. The first
Yeah, okay.
one, I need my computer. Send an important email. Look at this. We can use to plus infinitive to say what is the purpose of our action. So my action, your action, okay?
Yeah, okay,
So
teacher.
in this case, I need. So I need my computer. Why do you need your computer? For send is not in general because now it's talking about you. So in that case, to send, okay, to send. Also, another thing that you have to remember is that we are using a verb in base form, send, not ing. So in that case, we have to use to, okay?
Okay.
Very good.
Yeah,
Let's move to the,
in the first example, I had a little confused because I processed the exercise, so I think
You
so.
were still okay. You were still getting used to this kind of exercises, but no problem. Okay, let's see. Then we have 4-2. And this example is the same thing. Maybe I think you got confused with this word because book is a noun in some cases, but in this case, book is a verb. Okay, book is to make a reservation.
Yeah,
Okay.
reservation. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, in the sentence is I understand the sentence because I'm going to call to restaurant for maybe a reserve a table. Yeah, the context is
Uh,
very easy. So because in the use of for or to, I'm a little confused. But
okay.
the verb is in the same in the base form.
Uh-huh.
Is
So
the is the
I will make you a summary of the use of to and for you to remember. Maybe we got confused at the end of the class, but this is something that can help you to remember. To is always with verbs in base form. So all the verbs in base form, they always go with to. Okay? To eat, to buy, to book. Okay? We always use to and verbs in base form together. When we use for, there are only two ways. The first one is with a noun. For communication, for I don't know, for health, for I don't know, any purpose that you have. But talking about nouns, only nouns. And then we can use for with with ing verbs, okay, with gerunds. So in that case, for eating, for buying, for cleaning, okay?
yeah for the use for I have a little confused because I need to identify if I have a noun of I have a verb in ing. So, but I think so. I need to identify the context.
Oh yeah. So now you know, you can take this information into account at the moment of identifying if it is if which is the correct form, I mean. Then we have a mistake in example 5. So it says a thermometer is a tool for measuring the temperature. Remember that we are talking about the general function of an object which is a thermometer. And then the other answers were correct. So I'm really happy that you understood very well this part. Just, well, for the next practice, try to continue working or try to remember this information that to is always with verbs in base form. And then for we use it for nouns and also for verbs in ing. Okay, we have to move. I don't know if we are going to finish with this practice, but at least we will check the first 5 examples. Let's see. Example number
Okay.
1. Tell me, Omar. Well, we have 3 options. What do you think is the correct option?
Yeah, she's going to university for continue for I never see for
Mhm.
consigning. Uh,
Have you ever seen continue in ing form?
yes, never seen. It's
Okay,
correct, teacher.
it's because it's not possible.
Yeah, it's wrong.
So
I
what is
think
the
it's
correct
wrong.
answer?
Yeah, I think is The option B, I think so for continue.
For continue? Are you sure?
No, it's letter C, to continue.
Ah, very good. To continue. Yes, remember that to is always with verbs in base form. Okay? So to continue. Let's move to number 2. I need to buy a new dress. What do you think is the right answer?
Yeah, I need to buy a new dress to my next interview.
To my next interview. Okay. We will check in a moment. Let's see, number 3. Which is the correct answer? Which is the correct question? I'm sorry.
Yeah, let me see. Do you want to go to a coffee shop for breakfast?
Okay. Thank you. Let's continue. Number 4. Kitchen scissors are. What do you think is the correct form? Which is the correct answer? For cutting foods, to cut foods, or for cut foods?
Yeah, for cutting.
For
Kitchen
cutting.
scissors are for cutting foods.
Nice. Okay, pretty good. Then we have number 5. I need to go home. I need to go home. What is the right answer? For finishing my homework, to finish my homework, or for finish my homework?
I need to go home to finish my homework.
Well done. Okay, we have a great result. Well, I guess we can finish with this exercise. Let's see number 6. You must sign up to use, for use, or for using the site.
Yeah, I think you must sign up for using the site.
Okay, for using. Example 7. I am going to the post office, which is the right answer. For some stamps, to some stamps, or for getting some stamps.
Oh, teacher, I think is really very confused, but I think I'm going to the post office for some stamps.
For some stamps. Okay, nice. Example 8. This tool cans easily. Cans is easily. For opening, or to opening.
For open. This tool is for open can easily.
For open,
Easily. Or this tool is to opening
to opening.
or for opening.
What do you think? Look at this information. Look at this information. 2 plus base form, or 4 plus noun, I'm sorry, or 4 plus ing. So look at this. Open is not a noun, and opening is not a noun. They are verbs, or they are in a form of verbs. So in that case, what is the correct form? 2 plus base form or 4 plus ing?
I think it's for plus ing.
So A, B, or C?
Is letter B for
Very
opening.
good, for opening. Remember, this is in general. In general, this tool is for openings because we're talking about its use in general. Then example 9, I needed to be alone for relaxing or to relax.
Is letter A for relax.
Okay. In number 10, she called the police to help, for getting help or for help.
Is letter C for help.
Good. We will check the answers. It's time to finish. So let's see. We also have 7 out of 10. So we still have 3 mistakes. Let's check the following. I need to buy a new dress for my next interview. Remember that with nouns, my next interview is a noun. It's a noun, so we have to use for. Okay. Let's see the next one. Okay. You must sign up to use the site. It was, well, this example was not in general because it speak directly to you, okay? You must. So in that case, it's not in general for using. In this case, is personal. We could say that it's personal. Example 9, remember to relax. If we can ask the question using why, in that case, we use to and base form. And that's it. Then you got great examples. So I consider you are working very well in this topic and you understood really good. Just please continue practicing, Omar, and we will get better at the moment of using this topic. Okay?
Okay.
Let me see. Well, just before we move or before we go, because it's time to go, I just want to remind you, Omar, please continue practicing and work in the following activities on the platform. Give me a second. Okay, remember that today we are starting Unit 5. So we will start in activity 5.0. What do you see this for? What do you use this for? What do you use this for is the real question, but it's not correct. So what do you use this for is the first exercise or the start of the unit that we have to complete. And we will finish in activity 5.2.3, okay? That's what we have to do for today. And we will continue working on these topics tomorrow, okay?
Okay, teacher.
Nice. So thank you for coming to our class, Omar. It was a pleasure to have you here and to help you with these activities, okay? I hope to see you tomorrow. Have a good night. Bye-bye.
Okay, thank you, teacher. Good job.
You're welcome.